Hi, everybody. My name is Shanda. Good to see you here today. So that's my coach, Melanie Greeno. I love that intro so much. It just encapsulates everything that gets me excited about being a part of She's Creating an Empire, because she's not just a business coach. She's not just a branding coach. She's not just a mom. And there's none of those things that if you are, that's your main focus, that's a problem. It's just that she had this sparkly factor that really drew me to her, where she really had the lifestyle, she had the heart, she had the skill sets, and she had the priorities that I wanted to run my life by. So when I met her, I was just like, she's my coach. I want that one. And many years later, now my life is completely transformed. So it is my pleasure to be able to talk to you here today. Prior to She's Creating an Empire, I actually had a full-time job in a beige cubicle. I was also serving tables at night and working on renovations on the weekend. And I had a Freedom 75, Freedom 85 plan. It certainly wasn't going to be much faster than that. And I really wanted to experience the world throughout my entire lifetime. I really wanted to be able to travel with my children. I really wanted to be able to work on my own schedule. And so Melanie showed me how to do that. And there's been a few ways that we've been able to make this super fun. And that's what I want today's training to be, because social media for me was kind of a necessary evil until I figured out how to make it a lot of fun. So if you are here and you are watching live, put a 1. If you are watching the replay, put a 2. And let's get some big thank yous to Melanie Greeno, because without her, none of us would be here. And I can speak for myself for sure and say that I would definitely be living a very different life. And so some thank yous to Melanie in the chat would be amazing. All right. Well, what I want to do is go through a few tips. How many of you guys are building a business online or want to build a business online? Put online in the chat. Yes, Chicago. I would love to see where the rest of y'all are from. Just drop it in the chat as well. Seriously, right, Tracy? Like, so grateful for Melanie. And so drop where you're calling in from in the chat. Let's get some love for Melanie. And we've got a few people who are building online here. I love it. So that was my heart, because I wanted income that came with me. I wanted something I could do wherever I was, whenever I was. I could change my schedule based on my personal needs. And I could do it from a beach, or I could do it from my baby's bedside. And so online has been I didn't know anything about it. I was in FM radio before this. I did not know how to use the internet. And it kind of, how many of you guys that are building online? Yes, online and offline. I love that. I'm a huge fan of in-person. Speaking of in-person, how many of you are coming to Panama? We're hosting a women's retreat here in Panama, so we can actually build and equip each other in person as well. So if you're coming to Panama, put Panama in the chat, because I know a bunch of you are. So as I went to go build online, how many of you can relate to this? I want to know. Social media is like daunting and awkward, and I didn't really want to do it. I was like, I don't want to. I swear, for the first year, every single one of my lives, every single one of my reels was like, Melanie's making me do it. And I started a hashtag recently. Melanie made me do it, because I can't. So like, if you're on social media because you want this dream, you want this business, you want something, and it's kind of a necessary tool for you, then say, Melanie made me do it. That's my favorite hashtag in the world, because it's so true. Those of you who know, right? And so one of the things that I decided some time ago was that I knew that it wasn't going to be an overnight thing, right? Every overnight success story has 20 years of history that you just don't even see. And so if this was going to be something I was going to build for years and years on end, it was going to have to be fun. If it's not fun, I don't want to do it. I did not leave my beige cubicle to feel like I was doing something I didn't enjoy, right? So how do you bring fun into something necessary? Well, attitude counts. And in my experience, having someone who can help you navigate around those kind of challenging moments, like, why is this doing this? Or did Facebook change something? Or have I gone crazy? What about these algorithms? And so for me, it was really much better having Melanie involved. But I have found a few strategies that have really, really, really helped make it enjoyable. And I want to help you guys come to your social media authentically, right? And this can be very challenging. Imposter syndrome's real. And a lot of people show up at the beginning because they started a brand new business and they don't actually know how to go and lead people when it's the beginning, when it's their first round of clients, when it's their first product sales, when it's the first, right? And so whether you've been doing this for a long time and you're looking for a more community-driven social media community, or you are brand new to building online and you're really trying to figure out, how do I put the cart before the horse? How do I post about something I've never done? How do I create this authentic version of myself online that attracts the right people, that allows me to build my business, but that also is a lot of fun, and that we can do it together. So I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to share my screen. Yes, we're grateful for you too. Okay, so I'm going to show you today how to, it's loading. There we go. Authentically gain customers online the fun way. How many of you guys are ready to have some fun? Put fun in the chat. I love engagement. This is a team sport. So just because I can't see you in person yet, not until the end of May anyways, doesn't mean we can't have some fun. So let's drop some fun and get this party started, okay? Yes, ladies, I love it. You're so my people. I love these. I love it. Okay, so authentically gain customers online the fun way. There's 4 steps to making a social media game fun and authentic. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do with each one of these steps. The first one is, it starts with me, right? We have to make sure that we're coming from a place of knowing where we are, what we're in it for, and how to shift the focus from us onto other people. I also believe that there's a difference between people who are hoping it will work and knowing it'll work. When you're here until it works, not if it works, there's an energy that people can trust in that. And so I want to show you how to make sure you're seeing progress towards your goals before you make your very first sale, so that you can truly trust yourself and other people can trust you as you show up. We're also going to talk about documenting our journey and how to really make it romantic. We're going to talk about leading people, right? Because that's what business is. It's all about leading people in the way that they should go. That's what sales is. This isn't about convincing or pushing or even promoting. It's more about how to take people from where they are to where they want to be and guide them through that process with as much ease, as much grace, and as much fun as possible. And then we're going to solve problems and ask people to take a look at what you do, right? We got to invite them in. It's, if you had a dinner party and you prepared this beautiful spread of the most amazing food, but you never invited anyone, it wouldn't be much of a party. And that's the same thing with business. We do have to invite people in, and we're going to talk about that as well, okay? So it starts with me. And I think it's really important to know why we're here. There's a lot of gurus who talk about your why needs to make you cry. For me, it made me mad. I was mad that I was sold a lie. I was mad that I swear I had adulted as good as you can possibly get. I had rental property by the time I was 21. I had been investing from the time that I was 15. I had the good job with the big company with all the benefits and the paid vacation. By the time I was 21, I had everything that they said success looked like. Now, it felt empty. I had no control of my time, and I hadn't seen anything except for the inside of these beige walls and the renovation. You know, I'd spent more time at the dump than I had at the beach, which was not my definition of success. And it wasn't going fast enough that I felt it was worthwhile. So I was really mad about that, because I feel like I kind of did all the things they told me to do. And then I had to unlearn all of that mindset, all of that work harder, do more mentality, and actually had to learn how to create more ease and abundance. And that was a big journey. So I was more mad than, I would say, crying. But I want you to ask yourself, why are you here? What do you really want from your online business? What do you really want from social media? Is it to escape the rat race, to enjoy your baby's first and special moments, to not be told what to do? I remember one time, the first time I left the country in over 10 years, I went to visit my mom who moved to Ecuador. And I came back, and I went over Christmas, and I came back, but because I worked at a radio station, Christmas is a very busy time of year. And I was told I could never leave during Christmas ever again. I could never go and see my mom or my dad, both of which didn't live in my hometown. I could not go see them at Christmas ever again because Boxing Day. And I was like, this doesn't work for me. To be able to make my own schedule. I love being able to work late on some days and sleep in the next day. I like to be able to have some flexibility. I wasn't built for the same schedule every day, and maybe you're the same way. Maybe you want to take your business with you. Maybe you want to travel full time. Maybe you really want to impact people. You really want to feel like your work matters and that it's really a personal self-expression. Maybe it's really a creative outlet for you. Or maybe, just maybe, you came to make more money, and it's totally fine. I think that we need to have a why that's about us, that really drives us, that if no one else ever saw it, would make a difference to us. And for me, my love language is quality time. So being able to spend quality time with the people that I love, being able to spend my lunch hour with my family, that's really important to me. I really love being able to do that. So you got to ask yourself, why are you here? And really make sure that you stay connected to that. In my experience, it grows over time. Originally, it was to escape the rat race. Now I want to try and be and do and create everything. I want to make more friends. I want to see more of the world. I want to be able to scale my impact and get more thank you texts. But that wasn't why I started. I started so that my boss couldn't tell me that I needed to go to work at 8 a.m. on a Wednesday. So it's totally fine wherever you're starting, and allow it to grow and allow it to evolve. Okay, now the next question is, do other people have those same problems too? And I think this is a really interesting question, because a lot of times when we show up on social media, we're there for our reasons, for what we're looking for. We're looking to get something specific for us. But when we disconnect from the people we're called to serve, when we don't have anyone in mind on the other side, who loses if you don't win? Who else is praying, staying up at night with those problems? The thing that lights you up in your soul is there's someone else who that would light up too. They just don't know how. You know, it was interesting. I was having a discussion with one of our CEO school students, and she loves plants. She's the crazy plant lady. And she's like, I'm not helping people pay off debt. And I'm not helping people, launch online businesses and totally change their lives. I just really love plants, and I want to help them garden. I don't know if anyone's praying for what it is that I have. And I was like, girl, do you know how many moms want to feed their babies from their gardens? Do you know how many people grew up on farms that now live in cities that are just praying for the tools to be able to do that? I personally had a garden for some time, and I kept killing everything. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And it was so frustrating. And what plants can give you, it's truly amazing. So maybe your passion, or maybe the thing that you're here for, there's other people who it doesn't come so naturally to, or that are a little bit behind you in the journey. So remember that there's someone on the other side of your post. They are spending their personal time, the time, how many of you guys have sat on your phone next to a spouse, partner, kid, or friend while you're at dinner, while you're watching a movie, while you're cooking, right? They're spending their family time watching your posts. So think about what it is that's going on for them. And remember, when we can dial into the radio station that everyone's tuned into, everything changes. It's WIIFM, what's in it for me. So it can be kind of challenging to focus on what's in it for them. Why should someone care about your product? And it's not features and benefits. It's always how it makes them feel. We always do things for the feeling, right? So is it really that they want their hormones balanced? Or is it that they want to feel sexy again? Is it that they want to feel happy again? Is it that they want to look in the mirror and recognize their body? Is it really a feeling, or is it a product? It's never the product. The product is just the tool, okay? So when you think about what's in it for them, then you can speak to that. Okay. And the reason that I say that it starts with us, because this makes sense, right? We want to post for the people we're called to serve. And if you don't know how to figure out who you're called to serve, we actually have very specific training on how to do this inside the Momentum Group and inside the CEO School. So we'll definitely get you some information on that. Book a strategy call to see, because it's not for everybody, right? You got to be at a certain place in your business. You got to be ready to make money, ready to get momentum, ready to put yourself out there, and really ready to help people with an efficient and effective system that's been proven to work globally. So if you're not ready for that, then that's okay. But we do like to book strategy calls just to make sure that the right people are in those groups. So you can book one of those if you have questions about who do I talk to, or how do I communicate this. But the thing that I want to get across with you today is that if you're focused on your problems instead of their problems, then that's not going to convert. And the key, in my opinion, of taking the focus off of us and onto them is to know that you're going to make it. You're going to hit that rank in your network marketing company. You're going to be a top realtor in your organization. You're going to have a team of 100 realtors. You're going to be the #1 mortgage broker in your city. You're going to be the world renowned hairdresser. You're going to be the coach that's sought after around the world. You're going to make it. But one of the things that's so challenging is, how do we even know that we're going to make it, right? Like, how do you know at the beginning that for sure, we're getting there? And I want to share with you some tips, because success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. The key to feeling successful, the key to trusting yourself in this process, the key to knowing you're on the right track is progress. And so I'm going to give you a few things that you can implement today to start feeling progress towards the things that you actually got into your business for, okay? Because how many of you guys got into your business for more time, more money, or more energy, or some combination of the three, right? That was pretty much it for me. I was like, yes, please, I'll take that and a bag of chips. So I'm going to show you how to make progress towards that, so that when you show up online, you're already making progress. You know you're on the right track. And then you can move forward and you can step into a heart of service. Okay. So when we start making progress, this is a quote that I think is super weird, because it makes sense now that I understand it, but it took me a long time to really know what to do with it. And this is from John C. Maxwell. He's a #1 leadership educator, literally globally. He's got 50,000 coaches globally. He's, best-selling author. He's an incredible mentor of ours. And Melanie's actually spoken on stage with him a time or two and personally been mentored by him. So I think it's really cool that this quote comes from him. But they say, you have to think, act, talk, and conduct yourself like the person you want to become. And when they told me this at the beginning, I was like, if I knew what a billionaire or a millionaire walked around like, I would obviously be doing that. But I don't know how to do that. So one of the things that made this clear to me, and what I want to give you in terms of advice, is have confidence in where you're going. And a good coach can help you with that. But be a good steward of what you have. Be a good steward of what you have. Be an excellent person with your few customers. Be an excellent steward of a few dollars. Be an excellent person who manages your own time before you can manage a team, okay? So when we know that we're good, when we know that we're making progress, then we can show up in the energy of abundance, and the energy of overflow attracts, right? That's how we become this magnetic force that people want to do business with. But how do we get there? Well, we're still in the rat race, and before we get our goals, that's really the question, right? That's what I said. I was like, okay, that makes sense. That's easy for you to say, but you're debt-free and worth millions. Like, what do? I'm busy. I got all this stuff on my plate. So I want to give you the keys. Tracking is a simple exercise, and it works because it brings moment-to-moment awareness to the actions you take in the area of your life you want to improve. So in my personal opinion, when we start tracking, you can actually see the little pieces. And how many of you, I don't know if you're anything like me, ladies, but like, celebration is something I had to learn. I was really hard on myself. I would give everyone else endless grace and endless encouragement. But for me, it was like everything wasn't good enough, especially when I was comparing myself to giants like Melanie Greeno. And the truth is that it's the progress. It's the difference between where you were last week, where you were last month, where you were last year, that needs to be celebrated. And because those can be small wins, if we're not tracking them, sometimes we don't even see them because we're so focused on what we're creating. Right? And hopefully we're not focused on what we don't have, because that'll just bring more of that. We gotta put our focus on what we want to grow. So if we want more time, and if we want more money, and we want more energy, it's time to start tracking those things so we can feel the progress, so we can bring present moment to moment awareness to the actions you take in your life. Okay. So I'm going to give you some homework. Your homework is to eliminate spending and start investing. If you want to create a dynamic business, a dynamic brand, you're going to have to shift from the consumer mindset and into a creator mindset. So think about this. In an apple, there's seeds. So you can do one of two things. You can eat that apple and you can throw the core out. Or you can plant those seeds and ultimately end up with an orchard. And when you're faithful with a little, it's amazing. You'll be made ruler over much, much more. And so I want you to audit how you're spending versus investing. Are you spending your time, or are you investing your time? Are you spending your money, or are you investing your money? Are you spending your energy or are you investing your energy? If it doesn't have an ROI in it, it's not an investment. ROI means return on investment, which means it grows. Think about it like a seed in the ground, okay? So when I think about it, there's 168 hours in a week. Let's imagine you work 40, you sleep 54. Where's the other 70 something? Where are they going? Is it Netflix? Is it spending 3 hours a day at the gym? Where are you spending it? And are you investing it in the person you want to become? Are you putting that time, energy, money into the place you want to become, into the skill sets you want to develop, into the lifestyle you're creating? Are you investing it or are you spending it? Same thing with your money, right? I could not believe it, how much money I found in my audit. I was living paycheck to paycheck and I was like, okay, I eat out a lot. I need to definitely bring that back. And Lord have mercy, Uber Eats did not make that better. So learning how to really get diligent about the money. Did you know like less than $30 a day is 10 grand a year? Imagine you put 10 grand a year into your skill set, into your mindset, into your business growth tools. Where could you be a year from now? You're in complete control. When my favorite investment is me, because I have control of that. Every market goes up and down, everything's cyclical, but the one thing you can't take from me, no matter who does what, is you can't take my skill set. So I'm my number one investment. I continue to invest more in myself than I do in my lifestyle, than I do in my daily bills, than I do in anything else. And I would highly recommend you just auditing your money. Where are you planting that money? Money is energy, and you get to invest it in whatever it is that you decide you want to have grow. Do you want your belly and your butt to grow like I did when I was doing Uber Eats? Or do you want your bank account to grow? Do you want your skill set to grow? Do you want your business to grow? Okay, same thing with your energy. What drains you, what fills you up, right? We all have energy vampires that we've had in our lives, and we've all had people that just leave us feeling like we can conquer the world. What I used to do is, that's what I realized. That's why I got as close as I could to Melanie Greeno. I signed up for all her programs, went into all of her masterminds. Anytime she was anywhere physically, she's a homebody, so I knew I couldn't just show up at her front door. Sometimes I would show up and just leave a Starbucks out there just in case I got 5 minutes. But I remember one time she went to Thailand for a personal development event she was speaking at, and I flew to Thailand for the weekend. And it was like, people thought I was nuts. I am nuts. That's fine. I know I want something uncommon, so I'm not going to do common things. But what happened for me is I realized I felt braver. I felt more confident. I felt more sure of myself. I felt more ambitious. I felt more self-love around her than I ever did outside of her company. And so getting near her was really important to me. So when I audited that, I was like, okay, maybe I can cut back on this and cut back on this and cut back on this. I spent all my vacation time, all my sick time, all of it getting near Melanie Greeno, because I knew that that's the part of me I wanted to invest in. And so I want you to audit these things. Audit them. Where can you cut back? What this is going to do is it's going to allow you to track it, right? Now, here's the thing. When you start finding this extra money, when you start finding this extra time, when you start finding this extra energy, and you start putting it into your goals, into your dreams, into your future, you start seeing progress, right? When you can every single paycheck watch your total debt number go down, when you can see every single week your investment in your own education go up, you've learned a new skill, you're starting to understand things you never could, your social media audience is growing, right? When you start feeling more alive, waking up with zest instead of waking up exhausted, that progress as you document it. If you don't have a tool for documenting it, I'm actually going to get Cassie to throw this up, because this is the most underrated thing, and she's creating an empire besides Melanie, in my opinion. And I know most of y'all don't underrate her, but like, she's pretty special, like crazy. Also, this planner, game changer. You literally every week you get to audit your life. Where did you win? Where did you lose? How's your money doing? Like, how was your social media reach? Did you do the things you said you were going to do? It's a great tool. And so, 10 out of 10 recommend. There's everything from your social media plans to your business expenses to your quarterly reviews. You write down your banner goals every single week. It's cute, obviously. We have a digital version too. So for me, it's one of the cornerstones of being able to audit these things, because those small baby steps every single week, every single month, every single year, they compound. And if you guys haven't read The Compound Effect, I highly recommend it, because that's what we're talking about here, is compounding those little things. And so as you pay off $100 in debt in a week, you get to celebrate that instead of feeling like you lost. So here's the thing that credit card companies taught me. I was studying, human behavior just because I was like, why did I get into so much debt by the time I was so young? Why did I fall for all this stuff? And you know what credit card companies have figured out is that humans fear loss. Humans fear loss. So what they're trying to do is, with a credit card, think about this. You give them the credit card, you get back the credit card and all the stuff. Now you've just won, you've gained. Psychologically, it creates positive energy inside your brain, dopamine response. When you give them cash and then you get back less cash, you're less likely to spend it. That's why they talk about living on cash when you're paying off debt. And so when you think about, say you're not going to eat out as much, or you're going to invest that time, energy, and money into your future, if you don't track it, very challenging to see the points of celebration. You may end up focusing on what you're not doing more than what you are creating. And so you want to protect those sprouts. It's like you planted a seed, there's a little sprout, you just want to protect it until it's big enough to be on its own. I know, Kyla, yes, there's a digital version. If you bought this planner, you have access to the digital version, so you can just email support and they'll get that for you. Okay, so when you audit it, you can track it. When you track it, you can respect it. When you respect it, you can celebrate it. When you celebrate it, it'll grow. So I want you guys to really think about how this process of knowing that you are on the right track is going to see so much success. And you're going to be like, hey, I'm ahead of the game. I'm getting ahead of my goals. It's really powerful. And then what we are going to, right? We're acting as if we already are. We're acting as if we already are. Millionaires watch their dollars and their cents. Grant Cardone says, if you don't care about your $200, you won't be able to get to 2 million. Same goes for time. You're never going to be able to scale and build a global business and take on more. It's the coolest thing about, knowing Melanie is that she does way more in a day than most people do in a week. And it makes me really, when I feel overwhelmed, I'm like, Shanda, this isn't too much. It's time to get better. And so when we look at our time, the better we get at making, minutes into hours, and we get better at focused, diligent, productive time, the more that we get diligent, we build self-confidence. And as we get confident, then we can actually show up more authentically, because now we trust ourselves. We know we're going somewhere. We're seeing growth and progress. Okay. So this is how I recommend you act as if you already are, is get diligent about what you're working on. And then what you're working on will get serious about you. Okay. So now we're going to get into social media. This is the funniest thing. So literally that's me in 2014. You can see a little less joy in my face, right? So I want you guys, this is a Joe Rogan concept. Joe Rogan says that you should document your journey as if it were a documentary crew 10 years from now, going through and documenting your success. So imagine 10 years from now, you're the rank you want to be, you have the business you want to have, you have the bank account you want to have, you have the body that you've always dreamed of. And people say, well, how did you do it? That's what I want your social media to be, is the process of telling your story. You're just telling it from the beginning. And just like you're writing a book. And if you guys want to do that, it's actually a really powerful experience, is to go 10 years in the future, or 1 year, or 5 years, whatever's right for you, and write the letter as if it was already done. I actually had a counselor teach me that. She's like, okay, go write the letter and tell me in retrospect, right? And then it'll give you a vision. So 10 years from now, imagine you have so much success, more than you've ever dreamed of, so much so that people don't even remember or see you as the person you were. Document it so they can follow. Okay. I literally got made fun of at work because the only pair of boots that I could afford was a $10 pair of boots from Costco. They are more money there now, but they are those same ones. I had a Volkswagen Beetle that had zap straps tying on the bumper because it was in an accident right before I bought it. It had 300 miles on it. I was depressed. I was overworked. You can see I clearly wasn't as happy as I am now. And so what I can tell you is that there's some people that know me from back then. I think Sue's actually on here. She saw that car in her driveway. She knows I'm not kidding. And there's going to be a few people who come from the beginning and stick it with you, and they'll be able to vouch. But the cool thing is Facebook memories, Instagram memories, they're going to come back. Your phone is going to be able to remind you. So document that so that you can be proud of your journey, because one day you'll be able to look back and say, girl, I'm really proud of you. Like, you did it. Also, you're going to be able to, people are going to watch that you're going somewhere. People already know how to go nowhere. They need to see someone who's going somewhere, inspires them to move forward, inspires them to act. and it inspires them to want to do more. So document it, because if I showed you, I didn't document my journey really much then because I didn't even want to see it. I had this policy with renos, like I wouldn't take a picture of the gross because I didn't want to remember it. And so but before and afters are the best. So I wish I had more. I do have a few, as you can see, but I do want you to not make the mistake of missing out documenting the very beginning, because that beginning part is really special. And then what we want to do is romanticize your life. Let's think about this. Most people want financial freedom. So it's interesting because when I talk to people, like, what's their goal in business? They talk about financial freedom. I'm like, what is that? Define financial freedom. Not one person I've ever interviewed on this concept has given me a number. Not one. They're like, well, it just means that I have more money at the end of the month. I can say yes to whatever I want. I can shop from the left side of the menu instead of the right side of the menu. I can just say yes to whatever I choose. I don't have to look at price tags. So what they want is less pressure, more ease, more joy, more fun. So that's actually what they're here for. There's no dollar amount that matters. And maybe it's the same thing with your product, right? Maybe you sell a hormone product or some sort of nutritional product. Maybe you're a personal trainer or a realtor. How many of you realtors have actually had someone go into a home that fit their criteria perfectly? And they're like, it just doesn't feel right. When I was shopping for my second home, my mom said, what do you want? I said, I want hardwood floors. I want vaulted ceilings. I want this, I want that. She's like, why do you want those things? I was like, because I want to walk into my house and know that it doesn't look like everyone else's. I want something that feels unique. I want something that looks classy and finished and beautiful, and that it has something special to it. She said, okay, if you had a home that felt like that, but it had carpet, but it had all that feeling and it was just as special and it was truly over the top, would you say no to it? And I said, well, no, not necessarily. I can't imagine that I would. She's like, then stop putting hardwood on your to-do list. Stop putting hardwood on your must-haves. Start creating those feelings and make the picture of what you want. And it's the same thing when it comes to what you're selling. You're not selling collagen, you're selling feeling sexy again in a bathing suit. You're not selling collagen, you're selling not looking in the mirror and seeing your mom, right? You're not selling financial freedom, you're selling less pressure, more ease, joy. So be an example. So the way, what do they say? When the way you look at things change, the things you look at change. I can now look at a sunset. I saw some of the most beautiful sunset. I used to live near the Rocky Mountains, right near the ocean, in a beautiful character home. Guess what? That's what outside looked like to me. When the truth is, if I would have walked outside and realized that less than 50% of the world has ever even seen the ocean, that mountains really are special and that old growth forests are truly unique around this world, and I romanticized that process and I really captured it, it would have had a totally different feeling than the person who was sitting in Canada sick and tired of being cold. Okay, so where can you find magic? Where can you find gratitude? And how can you share that with your audience? Because that feeling of gratitude, that feeling of joy, those little moments of laughter. Susan Dawson's been doing a great job with this. She just documents her dog doing the silliest things, and she really finds joy in some of the most simple moments, and it's coming through on her social media. Carly's doing the same thing. It's really special to watch you guys grow. And so this is what's going to attract people to you. So remember that romanticizing your life doesn't mean it's picture perfect. Just like other forms of romance, romancing your life takes work and has ups and downs. Most of all, romance is being present. So how can you connect to the present, and how can you stay more present? I really think that that's the key to authenticity and the key to enjoying everything in life, not just social media. When you track it, it brings you into the moment-to-moment actions. It brings you present. It allows you to really see what's going on and be present in that moment. When you add romance, it's about being present. So become more present, find more gratitude, add more joy, and sell that. Because truthfully, if people can feel that feeling, they don't really care what the logistics of getting it is. And then your product can be on the back end. Okay, now lead them in the way that they should go. Okay, so this is the third step. So John C. Maxwell, I got to see him just the other day, and he said, followers are always asking 3 questions of any leader. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And can you help me? So when you go to social media, are you showing up in ways that they can trust? Do you care about them? Can you help them? Dale Carnegie says that you will make more friends by becoming genuinely interested in others than by trying to get others interested in you. And I definitely know that to be true. I see this all the time on social media. People are like, they post and they engage on their post, but they're never on anyone else's page. They're never in anyone's DMs congratulating their sons on winning a karate tournament or asking about birthday celebrations. If all you're doing is posting about your products in your life and you only care about the people who care about you, then that's not being genuinely interested. It's not really that trustworthy, and it shows that you don't care about them. Now, the can you help me thing, I really believe that testimonies and stories are the most powerful, but the best thing you can do is be a living testimony and document your journey. That'll show how much you can help them. So, how do you know the way they should go? This is my favorite question, because yes, we want to lead them. Yes, we want to love on them. Yes, we want to do that, but we want to lead them in the way that they should go. You need to ask. Engage, be interested in their profiles, ask them what they're working on, ask them about their dreams, goals, and struggles, send referrals, offer help, be a connector, genuinely be there for them. You'll find people who need what you have. This is a skill set. This is a very profitable skill set when you can become genuinely interested in people and you can really understand how to listen for the words between the words, how to take people from a stranger online to someone you truly connect with and feel like a real sisterhood kind of connection. It's one that's taken me years, but I also was pretty selfish when I started. Most of you ladies are already further ahead than I was. There's something about being $1 million in debt and being depressed that really has you in your own head, right? But this is what we teach inside the Momentum Group. This is what we teach inside the CEO School. They're at different levels, of course, but when you really learn how to connect to people and connect on their terms and then lead them in a way that gets them through their challenges, I want you to think about this. How many of you have ever set a goal and you're like, I'd love to, but how? I'd love to, but how? That sounds cool, but how would I do that? I wouldn't know what to do. I don't understand that. That's not something I've ever done before, right? The how stops most people. So when you can listen to people and see what they want and offer a how, oh my goodness, it's crazy. It's crazy how much value you can give. But now you're here to give instead of to get. You're not thinking about your debt because you've got a debt repayment plan. You're living below your means. You've audited your budget. You haven't given Starbucks $10,000 this year, right? So you're focused on them and you're truly connecting them to their resources. You're truly solving problems. And sometimes you give referrals to other people, but that's good. That's just good seed. That's just good karma. We just put that out there for sure. But at the same time, when you can really be a resource, because they're going to get stuck on the how, but that's your job, is get them over it, okay? And then we invite them. We help them lean in. We lean in. Invite them to a call. Some people sell in the DMs. I don't really do that unless it's someone that I really know. Then I'll be like, hey, I got this thing. You know, we've talked for the last year. I feel like you need to look at it. But even then, I like to jump on a call. I just think that old-fashioned connection is really special. And I'm not looking to just sell products or services. There's lots of online people who they literally have funnels. They have social media. You never get to talk to them. It's all recorded. That's fine. I like to connect with people. I like genuine human connections. I want to build friendships around the world. I'm looking to partner with 100 women to help them make 100K this year. That's my biggest dream, is to crack 100 women at 100K. And so for me, I need to know, can we partner together? Can I get to know you? Do I like you? Do you like me? Are we on the same page? Do I have something that can help you? I don't want to assume, and I don't like to just text, right? So I like to connect with people on a call. If you choose something else, that's totally fine. I'm just here to share with you how I have fun doing it. Okay. So I like to connect with people. I'm in the people business, and I don't also want to work with everyone. So I can feel a lot more through someone in person, like by Zoom or on a call. So you can invite them. And this is the invite that I always use. It's an if I would you question. And I just say, whether it's a challenge they're having, a goal that they want to create, or something that made me think of them, I just say, if I could get you connected to that, if I could help you with that, if I had a tool for that, if I had a coach that could help you with that, would you want to know about it? This is also how I give referrals, right? If someone's like, oh, I'm looking to buy a home, but I don't even know where to start. I'm like, well, I might have something that could help. If I could connect you to someone who could help you navigate that process, would you want that connection? So I use this tool. It's so funny. It's the nicest, most honoring way to give them information, because now it's they're saying, yes, I want it. You're not saying, oh my gosh, you got to meet this person. They're so, That feels like I'm feeling pressured. I want to know, do you want help with that? Not everyone wants help. Some people are still in their pity party season. Like sometimes there's a moment where you're just like, I'm just complaining. This is actually a great marriage tip, and it's something my mom taught me. She's like, there's a difference between, do you just want me to listen right now, or are you looking for solutions? I use that with my girlfriends too, and my prospects. That's basically the question. Are you just telling me this to tell me, or if I had some solutions, would you want me to help you with it? And ask them before you promote to them. It's really honoring, and it's something that we teach actually inside our secret sales sauce, which is a part of our inside our momentum group. If you haven't listened to the She's Creating an Empire podcast, I'm gonna need you to get on that, baby. It is so freaking good. Melanie's dropping absolute incredible sauce from everything from morning routines to dynamic business plans to being a mompreneur. It's an incredible resource for you guys, and it's completely free. She's creatinganempire.com/podcast. Okay. So to recap, it starts with me. So remember, you need to take ownership of where you're at and start making progress towards you're going. Act as if you already are a CEO of a multi-million-dollar business. Act as if you already are a mom. Act as if you already are debt-free. Act as if you already are. Document the journey and romanticize your life. Make sure that it's something that people feel connected to, that they can watch the growth in, and that they find joy and ease and peace and excitement and that freedom in. And even if it's only the meal you eat, or the sunset or the sunrise, or the candle or the plant, or the face your puppy makes when you go and try and work out and they jump on you, just find something that you can take a picture of, that you can say, look at how beautiful life is. So that they can see that life isn't just about the hustle and grind. It isn't just about deteriorating with age. It isn't just about the frustration of the process. Okay, there's actually beauty in it. Lead them in the way that they should go. So become someone who genuinely cares about them, and then find out what they genuinely want, help them go there. And then you're solving problems. Ask people to take a look. If I would you. So if you want to be part of our mastermind, we have connected over 10,000 students globally and worked with them online. We're in over 10 countries, and we actually have a weekly mastermind where we teach this stuff, where we go through these resources, where we actually brainstorm and go back and forth what you're saying and how it's going and help you through it. And in fact, we're having our next meeting in 18 minutes. So for those of you who are in the momentum group, you better be on. And we're going to help you level up in all areas of your life. We talk a lot about mindset because mostly you have the answers within you. You know how to connect genuinely. You have a good, kind, loving heart. You have dynamic, creative content creation ideas within inside of you. It's really just creating a space where you can unleash it, where you can bring it out, where you can take it to the next level. And so we pour into you. And in this program, we help you push past your current skill set limits, your current mindset limits, and your current belief limits. So you can believe, do, and have way more than you ever thought you could. And it's really exciting. For those of you who are in the momentum group, you all know, right? It's so good, right? Okay, so if you want to see if you're a good fit, if I think you're a good fit for this, then book a strategy call. I'm going to have Cassie drop the link for that in the chat here. And that's basically it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And what I want you to do is I want you to know that there's 3 types of people that see this information. There's the type of people who are like, this doesn't feel like what I need right now. And if that's you, thanks for being here. Like, seriously, you spent your time with us. Like, everything I do is to free up more time. So thank you so much for being here. And I hope that you scroll through our group, that you find something else that can be a really, really big value add. We have a lot of content in here, and we love to pay forward everything we've learned. The second kind of person has a ton of questions. They're like, this feels like my kind of people, but I don't really understand if the needs can be met for my business. If you have a program that works for me, I don't know what the next steps are. Maybe that how is stopping you. If that's you, then it's time to book a strategy call. And the third kind of person is like, I need to come to Panama. I need to be in the momentum group. Whatever this is, I want it times 10. And if that's you, I want you to just say, just put a 3 in the chat. Did we do a 3 yet? We haven't done a 3. So put a 3 in the chat. I'll DM you, and we can have a discussion back and forth. And again, see if I think you're a good fit. So there's a 1, there's a 2, there's a 3. I want to say thank you, each and every one of you, whoever you are. Thank you for being here, and thank you, Melanie, for equipping each and every one of us to be able to build our empire, our business brands, and bank accounts that we love. So Thank you. And I will see the Momentum Group members in 16 minutes. I will see each and every one of you back next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard, same bat time, same bat channel. And for our Online Income Accelerator members, you will be getting an email link for your coaching call on Thursday as well. And we have the CEO School on Wednesday. So I will see all of you on the appropriate calls. I love them so much, and I can't wait to see you build the empire of your dreams. Bye, everyone.